Following the disclosure of two CIA espionage cases in a row last month, today, September 5th, the Ministry of National Security issued another document to name the CIA. Bury the body in situ. On September 5th, the WeChat official account of the Ministry of National Security tweeted an article entitled "The First Black Star Hung by the CIA on the Stone Wall is Related to China." The article pointed out that the CIA headquarters has a marble wall covered with black five-pointed stars. A black star represents an intelligence officer who died overseas. According to the photos distributed in the article, Zheng Haijun noticed that there are more than 120 black five-pointed stars on the wall. The article mentioned that the first of these black stars represented an American spy named Mark Nan. He once conducted espionage activities in China as the Deputy Consul General of the United States in Daihua, now Urumqi. Around 1950, Manin and the spies and bandits he developed in China were resolutely attacked by our anti-espionage department and the military and civilians, and were finally annihilated, ending the history of harming our country. According to reports, Manin took advantage of his status as the Deputy Consul General of the U.S. Consulate in Daihua to intervene in Chinese affairs and cultivate spies and political bandits in the Northwest region, radiation and other intelligence monitoring equipment. The purpose is to detect the atomic bomb intelligence of the former Soviet Union. In the 1950s, with the liberation of Xinjiang, Ma Qinan withdrew hastily. But he was unwilling to leave China, and he also thought about continuing espionage activities in Tibet. In March 1950, Ma Qinan crossed the desert from Xinjiang with his entourage and entered the Tibetan area. On April 29 of that year, Ma Qinan and his party broke into the home of a local herdsman, and were immediately discovered by local armed people, and a confrontation broke out between the two sides. Manin was arrogant and refused to lay down his arms, so he clashed with the armed people. During the exchange of fire, Manin and his personal entourage were killed, and others were captured. Manin's body was subsequently buried on the spot. In this way, Mark Nan became the first intelligence officer who died overseas after the establishment of the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency in 1947, and the first black star on the marble wall. The article wrote, "Slap in the face CIA." Zheng Haijun noticed that this is the third time recently that the Ministry of State Security has named the CIA and revealed that it has cracked a spy case. On August 11, the official WeChat account of the Ministry of National Security announced that recently, the National Security Agency had uncovered a spy case involving the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. This is the first espionage case released after the official launch of the WeChat official account of the Ministry of State Security. According to disclosures, the criminal suspect in this case, Zhen Mumua, is a staff member of a certain military-industrial group of ours, and is an important confidential person. During the period when he was sent to study in Italy by the government, the personnel of the Rome station of the CIA deliberately approached Zhen and instigated him to rebel. After returning to China, Zhen Mumua provided a large amount of my core information to the CIA. On August 21, the official WeChat account of the Ministry of National Security announced that recently, the National Security Agency had cracked a CIA espionage case. The criminal suspect, Hao, is a cadre of a certain national ministry and commission, and was instigated to rebel while studying in Japan. Combing public reports, earlier, the National Security Department also publicly disclosed espionage-related cases, but in the past it did not directly name the CIA and expose its specific actions. Not long ago, the director of the CIA openly provoked my country. On July 24, at the press conference of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, some media mentioned that the director of the US CIA, Burns, publicly stated that the reconstruction of the US intelligence network in China has made progress, and that it is working hard to build a strong human intelligence collection capability to supplement other intelligence acquisitions. Channel. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Mao Ning responded that China will take all necessary measures to resolutely safeguard national security. On July 31, the official WeChat account of the Ministry of National Security was certified and launched. In the past 2 months, the official Weibo has continuously named the CIA, which is also considered by the outside world to be a remote response to the former's arrogance. The spy chief kept by Manin was also executed. Finally, let's talk about the protagonist Manin in this disclosure case. According to the disclosure of the Ministry of National Security, Mark Nan graduated from the Department of Physics of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the United States. He is good at radio, meteorology, photography, organic chemistry, and other majors, and is proficient in multiple languages. He joined the U.S. Army in 1942. From 1944 to 1946, as a member of the 10th Meteorological Squadron of the U.S. Army, he went to Daiwa, Xinjiang, China to perform secret missions. After receiving training in intelligence techniques, Manin began to carry out espionage missions and carried out extensive activities in Xinjiang, China. During Makinan's stay in Xinjiang, he raised a large number of spies and political bandits in northwest China and provided them with financial and weapon support. Before he fled Xinjiang, he also met with one of the spy chiefs, Usman, and asked Usman to lead his spies to continue to fight against the people's government. Usman gathered more than 5,000 bandits, launched riots and looted everywhere at the junction of Xinjiang, Gansu, and Qinghai. The Northwest Bureau of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China led the Anti-Espionage Department and the military and civilian armed forces to deal a resolute blow to the Usman spy gang. In February 1951, Usman was captured. In April 1951, after trial, Usman and other spies and bandit leaders were executed. In just 1 year, Manin and the spy chiefs he supported were punished one after another.